we have got to start with Josh Allen. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. This guy can throw dots to any of his wide receivers, running backs, or tight ends. And also, he's a machine on the ground. He gets it done rushing-wise too. Next up, we gotta look at Keon Coleman. The rookie, he looks great. He may not be perfect this year, but he's certainly gonna be putting up great numbers in the future. Next up has got to be Greg Rousseau. Man is a sack machine. He's averaging a sack per game, which is insane. Next up is the Dolphins, and this team is loaded. We've got Tua at quarterback, and this guy can throw. I mean, he can throw it deep, he can throw it short, and he's got some of the best offensive weapons in the game. He's got Achane at running back, and Achane is one of the best running backs if he gets into space. I mean, if you're a defense, you do not want to let him rip a 70-yard touchdown on the first drive because you were playing too deep. And if you do load the box, Tyreek Hill is going to burn you deep. Tyreek Hill is one of the fastest players in the league, so you need to double him. But when you double Tyreek Hill, you've got Jalen Waddle, an absolute stud. I mean, he would be a wide receiver 1 on any other team. Next up is the Patriots, and this team is at best. I mean, they've got Austin Hooper, who's a pretty good blocker. I mean, he can catch it, but he most likely won't. I mean, he'll probably drop it. This guy's got butterfingers. That's kind of his reputation now. But he's good at blocking, but he's not a good pass catcher. Unlike Hunter Henry, who's probably going to be the leading pass catcher on this team, but a horrible blocker. This guy can't block for his life. Next up is this defense, and this defense is pretty good, but they've got a bunch of holes. Holding them down though is Dietrich Wise Jr. He gets a ton of pressures, forcing you to throw the ball real fast. Next up is Sion Takitaki. When you're throwing that ball real fast, they're not ready for the punch out. Sion Takitaki forces tons and tons of fumbles. Next up, Jonathan Jones. This guy's a pick machine. I mean, he's got 5 picks in one season and then 4 picks the year before. He's an absolute beast on the field. Next up, you've also got Drake May, and this guy could really shape the team. Drake May could be amazing or horrible. Next up is the Jets, and this team is also, I mean, they've got Aaron Rodgers, which is kind of what this team's relying on. Aaron Rodgers is coming off a torn Achilles, so I don't know how good he'll be. You've got one of the best running backs in Breece Hall. I mean, Breece is absolutely going to destroy people on the field. You've also got a pretty good defense. I mean, they've got Quinn Williams, easily one of their best tackles on this team. I mean, this guy gets a ton of sacks. Also, you've got one of the best corners in the league, the Rookie of the Year a few years ago, Sauce Gardner. Though he wasn't as good last year, he certainly was great, and he can go up and grab balls from anywhere. Next up, we got the AFC West, starting with the Broncos. You've got their rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. Bo Nix looks pretty good. I don't know if he'll be great, but he looks good. You've got Courtland Sutton, one of my favorite players. He makes tons of downfield plays. He was working with Russell Wilson last year, and it felt like every play was a big play. He just blew my mind. Next up, we got the Chiefs, and the Chiefs start with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is maybe the best quarterback in the league. I mean, this guy can throw dots to any of his wide receivers. I mean, he's just amazing. He loves, though, his tight end, Travis Kelce. People are even putting him up there with Tom Brady. That's how good he is. Next up, we've got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is a little older, but he does great almost every year. I mean, this guy just breaks tackles, he blocks well, he catches tons and tons of balls. He's just great. You've got Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, we're not really sure how he's going to be. He looked amazing in Pittsburgh, like amazing. But once he got to New England, he wasn't so great. We've also got Chris Jones. Chris Jones is a beast. He gets tons and tons of QB pressures, but he also stops the run. He's great. Next up, we got the Chargers, starting with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is all right. I think he's probably like a top 10 QB, but he doesn't have very good weapons around him. I mean, he gets it done, but he just can't, his weapons aren't there for him. You got J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is a speedster. He could run the 40 in like 2 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. But he is fast. Now he's coming off a bunch of injuries, but I would expect him to be great. You've got Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer was thrust into the wide receiver 1 role after both of his teammates either got cut or traded. Now, I think he'll be alright, but not good enough. Joey Bosa, this guy's very good. He's one of the reasons I think they're still mildly competitive. He gets tons and tons of picks and tons of sacks. I mean, he's great. You've also got this Raiders team, starting with Max Crosby. Max Crosby almost runs this team. He's like the only reason that they might be good. If he were to win MVP, it would be because his team went off. You got Gardner Minshew. This guy's, I mean, he was thrust into this role because he's like a maybe 1-year QB. He's not very good, but he's also not the worst. Brock Bowers, this guy's going to shape the team. On to the AFC North, starting with the Ravens, you've got Lamar Jackson. He's a thrower, he's a runner, he can do everything. He just won MVP, one of the best quarterbacks. You've got Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs. He's a little old, some people are saying, but he is amazing at running the ball. He stiff arms guys, he hurdles guys, he's a menace on the field. I do not want to be near that guy. Next up, you've got Isaiah Likely, probably this team's main pass catcher. This guy can go up for balls from anywhere. You've also got the Bengals with Joe Burrow, absolute stud when it comes to throwing deep. I mean, he's got 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, and he throws to them a ton. This team is pass heavy. You've got Jamar Chase, one of the best downfield wide receivers. He makes tons of plays happening. He's juking out guys. He's spin moving. Oh my goodness, what a great player. You've got T. Higgins, another wide receiver. This team's got 2 double threats, and he's great. This team can go to either of these guys, and you know they can go deep. You do not want to leave T. Higgins open because he can almost head tap anyone. This guy would be a wide receiver 1 on most teams. This guy's great. You've got Trey Hendrickson, an absolute sack machine. He gets sacks, but he also gets something we don't talk about enough. He gets tons of tackles. Next up, we've got the Browns, starting with their quarterback, Deshaun Watson. One of the worst quarterbacks and worst people in this league. I mean, this guy should be suspended for the rest of the season. Nick Chubb, this guy's actually pretty good. He's still a great running back, even at his old age. Now, he's coming off a pretty harsh injury, but I'm sure he'll still be good. You've got Jordan Akins, an older tight end. He's pretty good. I mean, he takes it to the end zone normally when he catches it, but this age is catching up to him. He's like 39, I think. Next up, we've got Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks gets tons of interceptions and gets sacked. He gets it all done. He's not the best, but he's pretty good. Next up, the Steelers with Russell Wilson. Russ loves to throw the deep ball. This guy is addicted to it. He's pretty good at it too. Cordero Patterson, I mean, this guy's not the greatest running back in the world, but he's all right. Patrick Queen, this guy's great. This guy gets interceptions, sacks, fumbles, everything. I'm talking everything. This guy's a beast. TJ Watt, another beast. The Steelers linebacker core scares everybody. They're hitting you over the middle. They're getting sacks. They're getting tackles. They're getting interceptions. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Patrick Queen. Next up, you've got the Texans, and this team is good. They've got CJ Stroud, who is a beast. I mean, this guy lights up other defenses. As a Jaguars fan, I'm a little scared of him. Now, I think the Jaguars can handle him, but he's very good. He throws deep, great. He throws short, great. He throws great. You've got Stephon Diggs, their new wide receiver. An aging veteran, but still very good. They just traded for him, but I think he'll still be good. You've got Vole Fatuaxi, and this guy's also good. Now, he can't really stop the runs, especially the Jaguars ones, but he can get a ton of sacks. Next up, you've got the Colts with Jonathan Taylor. As a Jaguars fan, this guy impresses me. I mean, he's very good. He gets stiff arms, he gets jukes, he gets hurdles. This guy does it all. It kind of upsets me. Anthony Richardson, this guy's confusing. This guy's very athletic, very strong, but he's also very inaccurate. I mean, he had a ton of interceptions. Now, he was hurt, but I don't know if he'll be what the Colts drafted him. Next up, we've got Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. can catch. I mean, he can catch the ball. Tons of balls. He caught over 100 balls last year, and that was a down year for him. We've also got Mo Alley Cox, a great tight end. I mean, this guy gets the ball. He's a great blocker. We've also got Laiu Tuilaatu, and this guy is a beast. He's their new rookie. Next up, we've got the Jags, and this team's the best in the league. Maybe my personal opinion. You've got Trevor Lawrence. This guy's pretty good. You've got Travis Etienne, easily the best running back in the entire league. This guy destroys defenses, absolutely annihilates them. He destroyed the Texans' defense last year. You've got Brian Thomas, the new rookie wide receiver. You've got Josh Allen, an absolute sack machine. He gets picks, he gets sacks, he gets everything. You've got Foye Okatun. This guy's a beast. This guy gets interceptions. One of the best players we've seen on this Jags team in a long time. You've got the Titans. They're all right. They're starting Will Levis. Will Levis, all right quarterback, but he's known for more of his memes. You've got DeAndre Hopkins. A little old, but he's still pretty good. I mean, this guy makes plays happen when you thought it was a dead ball. I mean, this guy is a little old. I mean, he's pretty old, but he's still going up and grabbing every single ball out of the air. You've got Tyler Boyd. This guy, some people think he's not that good, but not me. I'm not an idiot. Tyler Boyd is a great blocker, and he can get downfield receptions. I mean, you've got Jeffrey Simmons. A beast. He gets tons and tons and tons of sacks.
Pixel League.